What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of Intense Takes. Today is a trade deadline special. We're a week away from the trade deadline, so I got a lot of basketball to talk to you about. We're about more than a halfway point of the NBA season, so much to get into. Trade rumors, transactions, MVP rankings updated, power rankings updated. So many good basketball has been played over the past couple of weeks. This might be the best episode yet, so I'm very excited to bring this episode to you guys, and let's jump right into it. What's up? Welcome to the first segment. Let's jump right into our power rankings for this week. This week at number 1, we got the Detroit Pistons. They went 7-2 in the past 2 weeks. They're sitting at 35-12 right now, and this team is just playing great basketball. They got wins over the Celtics, the Nuggets, and the Warriors. This is a team, like I said, I've been high on them since this offseason, pretty much since last season, and I picked them to make it out of the Eastern Conference this year. They're playing great basketball, great defensive team. Right now they're sitting at number 2 in defensive rating, which they pretty much been the whole year. They're sitting 9th in offensive rating, so they're really good. They're a really good team, and I'll speak more about them in my second segment for today. But I like this team overall. They're continuing to grow each and every game. They're beating the best teams in the league. They're winning close games also. So I'm very intrigued by this team. I love the way that they're playing. Of course, they got a superstar who's leading them in Cade. He's averaging 25, 9, and 10 right now. So, I had to put them at number 1 for this week. Number 2, I got the Denver Nuggets. They're sitting at 36-16 right now. They went 7-3 over the past 2 weeks, and that's all without Jokic. I think this team is showing how good they are. Valanciunas is now back too. Jokic just came back last night, put up 33 and 12 in 24 minutes. So, this team is really good. They're a contender out west. They're a contender to win the championship. They had big wins over the Mavs and the Clippers. They're first in offensive rating, but they're 25th in defensive rating. I expect them to get better in that area. But Jamal Murray, man, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the year he makes the All-Star team. Definitely going to be an All-Star reserve. It's crazy to think that he hasn't made an All-Star yet in such a great career that he's had. Since Jokic has been out, he's averaged 26 and 7. He's averaging 26 and 7 right now, shooting 49% from the field, 44 from the three-point line, and 88 from the free throw line. So he's been a great leader for them, but I really like the Nuggets a lot. Number 3, I got OKC. They're sitting at 38-11 right now. They went 5-4 over the past 2 weeks, and this team right now, I feel like, they're going through that spot where they don't look like a juggernaut no more. They're still a great team, obviously, and I think the Jay Will injury has hurt them a lot, or is going to hurt them a lot moving forward. He's out indefinitely right now, but this is still a good team. They had big wins over the Rockets and over the Cavs over the past couple of weeks, but they also lost to the Timberwolves, the Raptors, and the Miami Heat. So, they're still a really great team. Wouldn't be surprised at all if they make it out of the West. But it's looking a lot different than it did earlier in the season, and even a quarter of the way through the season. They're still number 1 in defensive rating. They're number 4 in offensive rating. So they're still a top-tier team. Like I said, still, if you ask most people, they're still probably the favorites in their eyes. But, they've hit a bit of a rough patch, I'll say. Number 4, got the San Antonio Spurs. They're sitting at 32-16 right now. Went 5-4 over the past 2 weeks with wins over the Rockets and the Timberwolves. Great team, like I said, young team, still learning a lot, learning how to close games. They've lost a lot of games over the past 2 weeks where they just haven't been able to close. But they're a good team. They have great players. Wemby, obviously, but Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper is coming into his own as a rookie, continuing to give them a big boost off of the bench every game. So I like this team a lot. They're 6th in defense right now, 9th in offense. So they're a great team for sure. I look forward to watching them. I also looking forward to seeing what they're going to do at the trade deadline. Number 5, got the Houston Rockets coming in. They're sitting at 29-17 right now. Went 6-2 in the past 2 weeks with wins over the Timberwolves, the Spurs, and the Pistons. It's so funny with the Rockets because I watch every Rockets game, and I feel like most people would agree with me who watch the Rockets, but all their games look the exact same. It's either a game that they blow you out or it's a close game. And the points always stay within that 100 to 115 range. It's a close game. They very rarely ever get blown out. They got blown out against the OKC, but obviously, if you watch that game was close all the way through, and they just couldn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter. So I like the Rockets a lot. They beat a lot of good teams. They play down to their competition a lot. But like I said, when you're beating teams like the Timberwolves, the Spurs, the Pistons, I mean, you're great. They're fifth in offense right now, and fifth in defense also. So a top 5 team in offense and defense, you're going to give yourself a chance in almost every game. And then Kevin Durant, playing great. I mean, 37 years old, still doing it at a high level, averaging 26 and a half on 51, 40, and 89. So, they're a great team. They need to be more consistent. I'm also going to speak about them in my second segment. And just like I said, thinking about things that I feel like they should. And, I'm thinking that they will do heading into the second half of the season. Welcome to best games that I've seen over the past couple of weeks. Number one, got to go with that Rockets versus 76ers game. Sixers won in overtime, 128 to 122. That was a great game, man. Great game. Elite shot making. Game went back and forth, especially in that fourth quarter. Joel finished with a triple-double, his first triple-double of the season, 32, 15, and 10. KD finished with 36 on 13 to 21 from the field. Like I said, it was a great game, man. Sixers were up most of that game. Rockets made a push early in the fourth quarter. Thought they were going to pull it out and win in regulation. But the Sixers made a push late in the fourth quarter to force it into overtime. And they were able to pull away and pull it out in overtime. So that was just a great game all around, like I said. And I've been watching the Sixers a lot, especially now that Joel Embiid is back. He's healthy for the most part. He's playing consistently. He looks like he's back to his old self. And it's crazy to say that after looking at him and watching him play at the beginning of this year. But he looks great, man. He looks great. He's back to scoring 30 points in 3 quarters. Like, he's an insane player. And Kevin Durant, like I said, he's also insane. Just being able to play at this high of a level, at 37 years old and being this efficient while scoring at an insane clip too. So that was a great game to watch. My second game, Raptors versus the Thunder. Raptors were able to win this game 103 to 101, and this was just a defensive game from start to finish. I can't. It's not too many games you're going to see in the NBA season where teams are scoring, barely 100 points. But this was one of those games, and I really enjoyed watching it. Like I said, Raptors are a pretty good team. They started out the season really good, hit a little rough patch in the middle of the season. Now it looks like they're trying to pick back up right now. I believe they're 9 games over 500. But that game was really good too. Emmanuel quickly finished with 23 points and 11 rebounds. SGA finished with 24 on 8 of 11 shooting, but he only took 11 shots. So Raptors are a really good team. They had defenders that they could throw at you. Jamal Shed, obviously Scotty Barnes is a really good defender. RJ Barrett, he competes on at that end of the floor too. So that was a really good game to watch. I really enjoyed it. My third game and last game, Rockets versus the Spurs. That was another one of those great defensive games. Another one of those Rockets games that I told you stay right in between that 100 to the 115 range. Rockets were able to win that game 111 to 106, and it was really off of the back of an amazing fourth quarter defensively. Being able to lock in on that end in the fourth quarter was huge for this team because they were down as many as 17 points to the Spurs, especially with Julian Champagnie was unconscious in the first half. Hit 6 threes, I believe, in that first half. Hit 2 more in the third quarter, and it looked like the Rockets were going to be able. It looked like the Spurs were going to be able to pull away. But in that fourth quarter, the Rockets really locked in on defense. They held Wemby to 5 of 21 from the field. And the Rockets, for the most part, in Wemby's career, they've been able to hold him, to pretty bad numbers. So that was a great game to watch. But we've spoken a lot about Reed Sheppard and Jabari Smith Jr. a lot over the season, especially when the Rockets went through that 3 or 4 game losing streak. A lot of it was because Reed and Jabari were not hitting open shots. They weren't hitting shots at all. But this game, they were huge. They both made big shots in the fourth quarter. Reed finished with 21 points. Jabari finished with 17 points while also playing some elite defense. So that was a great game to watch. And like I said, I love games that are defensive. I love games that come down to just players either making great plays on offense or on defense. But, those were my three best games that I saw over the past 2 weeks. What's up, and welcome to segment 2. Gonna jump into my surprise teams, MVP rankings, and transactions and rumors so far in this season. Gonna start off with my surprise teams, man. Shout out to the Charlotte Hornets. They're playing some great basketball right now. Right now, they're on a 6-game win streak. They just beat the Spurs about an hour ago, I believe. Playing great basketball all around. Great team defense, too. Brandon Miller, man. I've been a fan of him, since he was in college, since he was at Alabama. If you ask anybody that knows me, they knows that I've been a huge fan of him, but he's showing the type of player that he could be, averaging 21 points so far this year. He's averaged 25 over his last 6 games, and he scored 20 points in 10 straight games overall. Con Knipple, obviously, 161 threes so far this year as a rookie. This team is playing great basketball, and Charles Lee has done a great job with this team, being able to lead these young men, show them how to play basketball the right way, putting them in great positions to win also. Here's a great stat that I looked at. They're 10-1 with the starting lineup of LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, and Diamante. So when you got those 5 players, they're playing great basketball right now, great team basketball. You got Colin Sexton, who's a dynamite scorer coming off of their bench. He's playing great too. So I shout out to this team. I feel like they're right now they're doing a lot of things that they could build off of heading into this All-Star break, and putting themselves in a great position to make a push for that play-in spot in the second half of the season. So shout out to Charlotte. They're playing great basketball right now. All right, let's get into my MVP rankings so far this year. Number 1, got to go with SGA. Obviously, team with the best record in the league, sitting at 32 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, on 55% from the field, 39% from 3, 89 from the free throw line. Obviously, he's a solid defender too, so he's number 1 on my MVP list. Number 2, got to go with Cade. When your team had the second best record in the league and a 5-game lead over the second team in your conference, you got to be number 2 on my MVP rankings. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists a game. Great player, like I said. He also competes on the defensive end, so got to put him at number 2. Number 3, gonna go with Wemby, sitting at 24 and 11. Obviously, best defender in the league, 54% from the field. Great player overall. Like I said, he's growing each and every game, could take over a game, could dominate a game on both ends of the floor. So I got him at number 3. Number 4, got to go with Kevin Durant. Got to. And it's crazy because I feel like he's not getting the attention that he deserves, but he's playing great. Over his past 6 games, he's averaging 32 points. He's shooting efficiently from all parts of the floor. Right now, he's averaging 26.5 on 51 from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, 89% from the free throw line. And he's playing top 10 defense. If he doesn't make an all-defensive team this year, it's going to blow my mind. Like, he's playing great defensively. He blocks shots. He stays in front of players that he's guarding. I think he's like top 5 in the league with opponents' field goal percentage that he's guarding. I think it's somewhere like around 40%, something like that. So he's playing great all around. He's playing great. So I have him at number 4. Number 5, I got to put Luka in there. The Lakers are 11 games over 500, but I mean, the nigga's averaging 34 and 8 and 9. So you can't get much better than that. That's just video game numbers. Earlier this week against the Bulls, he had 46 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. So he's playing great. He's playing great basketball too. Obviously, I don't really believe in the Lakers at all. I don't think anybody really does, but Luka, him as a player, he's just amazing. So that's my MVP rankings for this week. So let's get into our transactions. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we're 1 week away from the trade deadline. So this week for this episode, I picked out two players and two teams that I feel like everybody should keep their eye on going into the trade deadline on February 5th and just monitoring it over the next week or so. Obviously, we got the rumors with Giannis that have been swirling. Obviously, I mentioned Giannis maybe I think in my second episode, I believe. So as we all know, I've been ahead of this, but it's really heating up right now. I think one thing we all have to be conscious of and just very cautious of is whether the Bucks are going to make the decision to trade him now or wait until the summertime. There have been various teams that have been linked to him: the Warriors, the Knicks, Timberwolves, Spurs, Hawks. Those are just a few teams to mention. Also, the Rockets at some point too have been mentioned to them, but the Rockets have said that they're going to be very patient with their young core, not going to make any rash decisions as far as trading for him. But we'll see what happens. He's injured right now too. I think the two best teams and that I've seen from reporters and just two teams that I've said earlier when I started this podcast. Also, I think it was episode 2. I think the Warriors and the Spurs are the two teams that everybody should look at. Those are the two teams that I mentioned, and I think those are the two teams that are going to be front runners for Wemby. The Spurs have the assets, they have the draft picks, they have the players to be able to make these trades too. So to trade for him also. So we'll see what happens. And then obviously we have the Warriors too. Saw a report that said the Warriors are not gonna trade Jimmy Butler, so the only thing would probably be, Kaminga obviously would be a player. Draymond Green would be a player, and then maybe any draft picks that they have. So we'll see what happens with Giannis, but I think that's definitely something that everybody should be aware of. Number two, let's go into Jonathan Kaminga. So we know about a week or so ago, week and a half or so ago, he went to the front office of the Warriors, asked for a trade. We'll see what happens, man. I think it sucks. It sucks to have a player like that who wants to play. Not a big fan of the way Kerr has handled this situation. So I'm hoping that he's able to go to a team that he could help win, but he could just go there, play, be himself. I'm looking forward to seeing what teams come out of that. I know that the Suns had a lot of interest in him over the offseason. We'll see if Phoenix makes a trade for him because Phoenix is playing very good basketball right now too. I think they put themselves in a position where they have the ability to trade some assets, trade some players away, and go and get a player that they feel can help them. Um, so we'll see what happens with Kaminga for sure. Let's go into the two teams that I have now. First, I'm going to go with the Rockets, and I've been talking about the Rockets all year. I've been talking about the Rockets since I started this podcast. Over the past week or so, we see that they've been linked to Kobe White. Uh, let's see what happens with that. I think that's going to be a good trade for them. Kobe White is a player that has played point guard in this league. He's a great scorer also. I think he's averaging 20 for the Bulls right now. He's fairly efficient from the field too. So I think that would be a great trade from them. Another player that I feel like they should go and get is Chris Paul. Chris Paul could still play point guard at a high level. He could still be a floor general. They don't need him to score. They just need him to be able to set players up. And I think the thing is having Şengün and Kevin Durant just handle the ball consistently through a game, it makes them tired and it makes them so easy to guard. And I think that's a huge reason why we see in these fourth quarters that the Rockets just do not have the ability to score. They go through 4 or 5 minute scoring droughts because when Kevin Durant is standing at the top of the key in the middle of the floor and the defense could just look at him, we're playing pick and roll, or they're able to send two players at him, it makes him so easy to guard. So I think having a point guard bring the ball up, set him up, allowing him to catch that ball at the elbow, at that free throw line position will help this team a lot. So I think keeping an eye on Kobe White and Chris Paul potentially will be good. I think also looking at Jrue Holiday, like I said, that's a player that I've linked to the Rockets too. We'll see what happens with that. And then CJ McCollum also. I think Jrue Holiday and CJ McCollum are two players that we should keep an eye on for sure to see whether they get bought out, whether they get traded. But I think the Rockets, they know that they need a point guard. And I think it was very glaring to see, especially in that Spurs game that was played on Wednesday, that Amen Thompson is a great player. But when a team guards you in the middle of the floor, in the paint, and you don't have, you just can't shoot. Like, you not being able to shoot the ball is tough. And the Rockets, they don't have that ability to shoot right now, especially with him on the floor. So I think him being able to go back and playing that dunker spot will help this team a lot. I'm going to get into the Pistons now. The Pistons are a great team. Like everything that they bring to the table, but I do believe that they need another shooter. They definitely need another shooter. Duncan Robinson is really their only shooter that gives them a consistent threat from the 3-point line. So I think that they definitely need to go out and get another shooter. I think players to look for are Kevin Huerter from the Bulls, maybe potentially trading for him, and then maybe potentially trading for Anthony Simons too. I know the Celtics have made him available recently. I think those are two players to watch for the Pistons, and then also AJ Green from the Bucks. The Bucks might be in a position where they are trading a lot of players right now. AJ Green is a great shooter. I think the Bucks. I think the Pistons should take a look at him for sure. I think he will give them a good boost shooting, but he also competes on the defensive end too. So I think those are definitely the things that I'm anticipating the Pistons going out and getting and helping bolster their roster in that area. Lastly, MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. He's had an amazing season for the Brooklyn Nets so far. I think he's averaging 25 right now. He's efficient, great shooter. He's just having fun. And with young players, when you have success early in your career from a team's perspective, and it's much like Jordan Poole was when he was playing with the Warriors. When you have a lot of team success, then you get traded, you get paid, you get a ring. You could just go to a team that's probably not that good, but you're able to show the rest of the league like, hey, I can score at an elite level too. I could average 25 a game too if I was really put in that position. And MPJ has showed that for sure over this year. Now there have been a lot of teams that will possibly look to trade for him. I'm sure Brooklyn might be looking to trade for him to trade him also. But I'm looking at teams like the Clippers possibly trading for Michael Porter Jr., the Warriors possibly also trading for Michael Porter Jr. too. If Giannis doesn't get traded, I think MPJ could definitely help those two teams because he's shown that he could score, but also because he's shown that he has the ability to sacrifice his stats too for the betterment of a team and to help a team reach a championship level. So I think he's definitely a player to look at over the next week and specifically on February 5th, possibly getting traded. But those are my transactions and rumors for this week. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Inside My Mind Film Breakdown. Today we're going to get into some Cade Cunningham film. To me, Cade is one of the best in the league when it comes to throwing alley-oops. Him and Jalen Duren have a great chemistry when it comes to that. They both read each other very well. So I'm going to show you today how Cade was able to draw the defense to him in transition, catching the ball. Jalen Duren running the floor like every big should, and it resulting in an alley-oop basket. Let's jump right into it. So here we got Anthony Simons. He's pulled up. We got Jaden Ivey, and he grabs rebound. What Cade always does, what I love about Cade, him being a point guard, is that he's always there to get the ball at the middle, whether it's at the middle of the court or catching the ball in the middle court and allowing himself to have the space to say, okay, do I want to dribble now to the right side or do I want to dribble to the left side? And he does a really good job of that. He does a really good job of always keeping his head up and attacking in transition. He's never bringing the ball out. He's never trying to pull up for a three. He's always attacking, trying to draw the defense to him, which is going to result in a good position for their team more times than not. So let's go right back into the film. And he's right here. He has hand and pressure on him. So as you see play the pressure on him, you see Anthony Simons is right there, and I'll just play it back a little bit for you guys to see.
Cunningham tonight, by the way, 9 assists in the game.
So we got Jaden Ivey catches it. Cade is coming in transition, and he's dribbling, and I'll pause it right here. As you see, Anthony Simons is right there, and Jalen Duren is running up the middle of the floor. And Anthony Simons is not worried about him because he knows that one-on-one Cade and Payton Pritchard, Cade is going to get to the rim and possibly score. So Anthony Simons, his attention is all on Cade. And while Anthony Simons is looking at Cade, Cade is surveying the floor. And he's looking at Jalen Duren right in the middle of the field. And I could see that they're both looking at each other and they're communicating to each other during this play, which allows Cade to put himself in a position to throw an alley-oop. So let me pause it and play it back.
To the Celtics. Cunningham tonight, by the way, 9 assists.
So like I said, we got Jaden Ivey and Cade catches it. He's running, dribbles, he's attacking, and nice oop right there for Jalen Duren. And this is something that they do a lot, them two, whether it's in transition or whether it's in half-court play. But those two have very good chemistry when it comes to that. And like I said, Cade is really good about keeping his head up and throwing on-point passes to Jalen Duren. But that's my film from Cade Cunningham. Hey, what's up? And welcome to part 2 of Inside My Mind film breakdown. Today we're going to look at a Rockets defensive possession against the Pelicans. They were able to blow this game wide open in the fourth quarter. This was just overall great defense, great communication all around, switching, rebounding, and it ended up turning into a shot clock violation for New Orleans. So let's get right into it. So we got Jordan Poole bringing the ball up, Okogie picking at him, and then we got switch with Amen Thompson. So one thing I want you to take a look at here is Okogie switching and look at Okogie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Jabari Smith Jr. All three of them are communicating with each other on switches. All three of them. Okogie originally started off on Jordan Poole, switched, him and Amen switched. Okogie then is coming down and they're doing a pin down. Okogie was on Trey Murphy. He comes down, him and Dorian Finney-Smith, they relay to each other, hey, let's switch. And you see Jabari right there in the corner, he got his hands up like, hey, I'm gonna nudge him for you so you can drop down here and pick him off. So let me run it again. So now we got more. So now look, I want you to see how much switching has come. 3 players here. We got 4 players that switched overall in this possession. And everything went off without a hitch because they all communicated perfectly with each other. At the beginning of this possession, Amen started on Trey Murphy. Okogie started on Jordan Poole. Dorian Finney-Smith started off on Misi, and Jabari Smith started off on Noel. And for them to be able, and now we have Jabari Smith right there on Trey Murphy and Okogie right there on Misi. Everybody's communicating with each other. I'm going to run it again for you. We got switches coming. Okogie switches. Gray staying down. Everybody's talking, collapsing again. And this team right here, everybody's collapsing when Trey Murphy hits the paint. And they're all talking to each other. Run it again. We got Dorian Finney-Smith out there. He collapses and he closes out perfectly. And then Okogie's right there to collapse also. So this was just overall great team defense. And I'll run it back for you again and just show you. And I'll play it for you all the way through. And I'll just talk you through it and just let you know how great of a possession this is. So we see Okogie's right here, starting off as Jordan Poole's bringing it up. We got to switch. We see communication. Everybody's talking. Everybody's switching.
Great job right there. Switching.
Lockdown. We got more switching here on the screen. So now it comes to just one-on-one. And Trey Murphy, now we get under 10, is a one-on-one situation. He knows he has to collapse, get into the paint, get a shot off for his team. Okogie does a great job moving his feet. Jabari's right there to help. We got more collapse. And we see right there, we have 3 players collapsing in the paint with Trey Murphy. 3 players. He kicks it out. Dorian Finney-Smith there. We have more collapsing, and it ends up in a shot clock violation for the Pelicans. So great defensive possession when we talk about switching, communicating, collapsing in a paint, closing out perfectly. Pelicans are not even able to get off a shot. So that was a great defensive possession for me. Hey, and welcome to our last part of this segment. Gonna look into some Houston Rockets offense right now, so let's jump right into it. Got a jump ball right here. We got KD right here. So this offensive possession right here starts all with this pick and roll. So now one thing I want you guys to pay attention to, they got this switch going on here with Joel and Embiid. Obviously, that's not a good matchup for anybody, especially in space at the top of the key. So I want you to take a look at what the Rockets do once Philly sends two and the great ball movement, how this ends up right back in KD's hands for a wide open three. So we got it right here. So Kevin Durant is looking, and we see Tyrese Maxey. As he sees Kevin Durant dribbling the ball, Joel's going to push up on him. Put pressure on him. Tyrese Maxey is then going to come up. I want you to take a look at Jabari Smith Jr. Jabari Smith Jr. then is going to run to the free throw line. Give Kevin Durant a closer body to give the ball to, and for it to then be essentially a 4-on-3 situation for Houston. So I'm going to run it right now. So Jabari gets it at the free throw line, kicks it out to the corner to Okogie. Okogie pump fakes, one pass, another pass, wide open three to Kevin Durant. So this was just great offense all around. Let's play it back again. Like I said, it all starts right here with Şengün coming up, and 76ers are going to switch. So we got KD in space with Embiid, and then Tyrese is going to pull up. As Tyrese pushes up, Jabari's going to come to free throw line extended. Barlow is going to come up, play him, which will allow Kelly Oubre to drop down and take Şengün. Okogie's going to be wide open in the corner, so I'm going to run it. Got to close out here. One pass, another pass. Kevin Durant wide open for a three-point shot. So it was great offense all around for Houston, being able to, like I said, it's something that Houston sees a lot over the season, especially with Kevin Durant handling the ball a lot, initiating offense a lot. And that's something that they have to do a lot more often rather than just standing in a corner. When teams are pushing up and going to double Durant, Jabari Smith being able to see that, go free throw line extended to give the Rockets a 4-on-3 opportunity, move the ball around after that, gave them a great opportunity to score on this possession. Ball ended up right back in Kevin Durant's hands. Wide open three. He's going to hit that more times than not. What's up, and welcome to Bonus Takes. This week for Bonus Takes, we're going to jump into the Super Bowl. Obviously, we got the Patriots versus the Seahawks this year's Super Bowl. Looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Patriots defense has been very, very good during this postseason. Offense has not been good at all. Seahawks, on the other hand, offense and defense has been good. Let's see what happens. I think the Seahawks right now are 4.5-point favorites to win this game. If I had to pick, I think the Seahawks are going to win also. It's crazy to see kind of the career trajectory for Sam Darnold. From going to a bust and now to being a Super Bowl winning quarterback, possibly winning a Super Bowl before Josh Allen and Lamar, Joe Burrow, getting to the Super Bowl. And I'm pretty sure if the Seahawks win, he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP too. So it's just crazy to see like where he's at. But I think it just goes to show you, the importance of an organization, importance of coaches when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL. I think we look at so many players right now early in their career, whether they hit year 4 or 5, and just think that, man, this player is just not good. But I truly believe like if a player has shown, spurts, or if they've shown great potential in bad situations, all it takes for them is good coaching. All it takes for them is a great organization to help them to build and get to where they need to go. But I'm looking forward to watching this Super Bowl also. I think it will be a close game, but if I had to choose, I think the Seahawks are going to come out and win this game. Shout out to Sam Darnold. Shout out to Mike McDonald too. Elite defensive mind, elite coach also. And just an elite organization all around. So I'm looking forward to watching this year's Super Bowl for sure. Thank you for watching episode 7. Appreciate everybody for the consistent support, watching, tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you next episode.